lomba akbar pengisian BBM. Terpanjang dalam sejarah, kami akan memecahkan rekor antri. Terpanjang di dunia, peserta harus mempersiapkan diri. Lomba ini mempunyai resiko sangat berat, membutuhkan kesabaran tinggi, antara lain pekerjaan tinggal, pusing, aktivitas terganggu, lapar dan haus, dan pengendalian emosi sangat tinggi. Siapkan diri Anda, stamina yang fit, jangan lupa bekal air mineral, topi anti panas, dan siapkan di rumah Anda barang kocok obat pegal-pegal.
Everything to make your next masterpiece. So go to Artlist and start creating without limits.
No, it's certainly not. 8 cars into one, basic down at turn 1. It's a tightening left-hander with that hop jump on the inside. Hansen there was having one of the technicians just make a final adjustment to the mirrors. The mirrors on these cars are tiny and they tend to vibrate a lot with the amount of power they're putting out. So not always that useful, but you'll get a flash of colour. So you might see red in the left or in the right and you go, that's Scott, I know where he is, so he's ready.
And speaking of vibrating, this entire venue right now feels like it's vibrating. So many people leaning against every possible fence and rail. They're so excited to see this because we've seen 3 cars on track. We've seen 4 cars on track, and now it's just like we are all in 8 cars.
Let's double it, shall we, to 8 cars, let's do that. 8 cars down into the first corner.
So let's take a look at our Red Bull track conditions, 82 degrees. The wind, though, has picked up again. It's 16 miles an hour. I've seen gusts in the 20s, so again, dries this track out, which means there's dust in the air, it gets hard to see, get dust in the car.
And it affects the way the cars fly as well. So Travis had said, I think they'd hit the jump with wind speeds of more than 20 miles per hour. And depending on whether it's coming from the left or the right, depends on which way the nose dips. You heard the guys down talking earlier on about how Hansen's car was landing on the one wheel when he was taking it in practice this morning. That was because the wind was coming down the valley in one direction. And normally in the afternoon it switches and goes back the other way. But we've seen them all flying it. They might land a bit on a slight angle, but it's nothing these cars can't handle. Faust in the background, look, with a tyre cleaning, tyre warming exercise. Ekstrom looking like he's got stickers on the car. You can see, if you have a look at the tyre walls, you'll see you can see the Yokohama logos really clear and clean, bright white on all the cars that are on the grid so far already. And that suggests to me, Tess, that all these guys have saved a brand new set of boots ready for the final.
Well, Sandell, we saw him pull off the grid a little earlier. For more on that, let's drop down to Christy Lee.
Yeah, that's right, guys. He's missing out there right now, but he will be back very soon. Just found out from his crew he had a bent wheel. Just went back to the pits real quick to swap that out. Should be ready to go for race time, guys.
Oh, thanks on that, Christy. And obviously, Patrick, you can see him there trying to get ready. He DNF'd in his Challenger race. He DNF'd. He did not finish in his semi-final.
No, certainly not. 8 cars into one, basic down at turn 1. It's a tightening left-hander with a hop jump on the inside.
I think Andrew was the
Hansen there was having one of the technicians like a fire adjustment. The mirrors on these cars are tiny and they tend to vibrate a lot with the amount of power they're putting out. So not always that useful, but you'll get a flash of colour. So you might see red in the left and the right, and you go, that's Scott, I know where he is. So he's ready. Rim on there, that's probably just bent either from contact or a heavy landing earlier on. You can see them heading up, look, and a little bit of left foot braking to warm things up. The grid's forming up, and now you can start to get an idea of why it's important to be wet.
We've seen 4 cars on track, and now it's just like we are all
Saat ini kami juga ini meliput beberapa SPBU di tempat lain, tapi kami juga kendala. Minyak motor kami juga habis. Kemarin motor ini terkena minyak campur dorong, karena tidak ada yang menjual minyak kosong. Saat ini kami sedang berusaha mencari alternatif, pakai sepeda, mohon bersabar. Yang pasti, lomba akan terus dilanjutkan ke seluruh SPBU dalam waktu yang tidak ditentukan.
With wind speeds of more than 20 miles per hour.